Wow. So if you're watching stream and you don't see me, well, we're gonna fix it right now. This is live tech support. There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, tonight we are gonna try 4 different beers. We are rating 4 beers that has a style origin from Germany, but at least one of them's from Mexico. So we'll see how that goes. I'm Nikoli Williams, and this is Don't Worry, Beer Happy. And if you only knew the power of the dark side. So I'm here tonight with 2 friends of the show who I guess are big fans of dark lagers. So we have David and Daniel here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back on. I'd like to point out I'm the first repeat guest of the show.
You're not only the first repeat, you are the first, I think, duo, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we're not counting the you and Chris, duo in the same location episode.
That's true.
Yes, this is the first 3-person episode, which is cool.
It's very cool. I'm glad I could be the third person.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we're happy you're here. We like to share beer and beer experiences with everybody. I think it should be something that's accessible for people. A lot of people, they think, oh, well, I don't like beer because they didn't like their Miller Lite or something. But there's a lot more, even in the lager space. So we have 4 really nice beers. I've never had any of these particular ones, so I'll just go through those real quick. We have Modelo Negra as our first beer.
Yeah, we like that one.
We have a Doppelbock Dunkel from Andechser.
That one we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know about that one.
None of us have had that.
We have Leinenkugel's Toasted Bock.
That one, yeah. he knows.
It's good. Good.
And the last one is the Köstritzer Schwarzbier from... I think the same company who makes this actually owns, or it is Bitburger, so I think it's the same company who does both of those.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I've never had that type of beer before. Well, really,
I haven't either.
Both the Doppelbock and that one I haven't had before.
And it says it's Germany's #1 black lager beer.
So
maybe that's something. Right
that
there.
is true. Yeah. It is Germany's #1 black lager beer. I was reading a little bit about Schwarzbier in my beer Bible.
Okay.
Or I guess it's the Oxford Companion to Beer is what it's called.
Okay.
And it did say that it was the #1 black lager in Germany.
So I want to ask a question right off the bat. When they say like black lager versus dark lager that other things brand their beer as, is that really just like about the color, or is there any like inherent brewing difference between a black lager and dark?
I don't think there's really any brewing difference. I think it's more just the naming, because Schwarzbier literally means black beer in German. So I think it's just how they say it, how they market it. And if it's from like an American brewery or something that is not German, they're probably not going to call it black lager, I would imagine. That just sounds kind of weird.
Yeah. And now I'm wondering if there's like a certain mark, a certain level of darkness it has to hit in order to reach that qualification.
Yeah.
Like if the beer, officials come in and like, they scold the company because they're like, this isn't dark enough to be a black lager.
Right.
I don't know. It could happen.
I mean, I think generally the color doesn't the color doesn't determine the style. I think it's more the ingredients and just kind of how it ends up. You'll see this whenever I move on to the actual beer screens, but for the SRM for these, I literally just put brown/black because they have some notes of both, and it's just really hard to say what it is. I mean, obviously, I believe the Schwarzbier is going to be darkest, but I may be surprised. I don't know. Like I said, I've never had any of them, never poured any of them, so yeah.
We'll find out together.
Yeah, so do you want to go ahead and start with the Modelo?
Yes.
Yeah, before we get into actually sampling it, I would like to point out just a little bit of information, some background on it that's kind
Yeah,
of
please.
interesting.
He did his research.
I did a little
Dan, have
bit.
you ever had a guest do research for this show?
No,
Probably not.
I have not.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm proud to admit I did a little research. Cerveza Modelo Negra it's a 5.4% ABV Dunkel style lager. First brewed in Mexico by Austrian immigrants. See, when Daniel questioned, why is there a Dunkel coming out of Mexico? I said there's probably some German people that started brewing it. I mean, in this case, Austrian, but close enough. We'll accept that.
Yeah.
And it was first introduced as a draft beer in 1926. So more about the German connection, because there's no way the Mexicans who typically brew, lighter lagers, much lighter, pale lagers, they would get their hands on, a Dunkel style, a dark lager. So. And what's responsible for that is there actually was a German merchant colony that began in Mexico City in the 1820s. Started with 50 individuals, and then it grew to about 3,000 by the late 1930s. And today there's about 4,000 people of German descent that are Mexicans, but of German descent. And actually, those of you who know of Linda Ronstadt would know that she's actually of German descent. She was born in Mexico. She was a very famous pop music star. Mm-hmm. For those youngsters out there. But if you look if you go 70s and 80s, I would say 70s and 80s. Great voice. She's still around, but I don't think she sings anymore. No. But anyway, so a little bit of background on how a dark lager made it to Mexico.
Yeah, and I'm curious, do they call it a Dunkel, or is that just what the beer world calls it?
They don't beer
call it a
Dunkel. Yeah, but if you go to a restaurant that specializes in having a good inventory of beers, they would tell you it's a Dunkel style.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, I will have to point out, now, I was doing research over Latin America back sophomore year of college, and even though I don't even think she's from Latin America, I think she's from Spain, but our favorite pop music star of the Spanish speakers is Natalia Jimenez. I mean, she's tremendous. Yeah. I don't know if you ever played for your parents the song, but Creo and Me is...
We'll have to hear it.
We'll have to hear it.
So what's the connection there?
Well, just Spanish speaking. We were talking about a Mexican beer.
Okay.
I don't think she's Mexican.
Yeah, I don't think she's Mexican. But the reason I was looking it up in the first place was because of my Latin American culture class, which included Mexico, and then I found her music through that and shared it with everybody else. So.
He brought it to our world, and it's just the one song that we love by her.
Okay,
but it's a good.
I thought maybe there was some beer connect, like she sings about beer.
No,
nothing.
No, maybe she likes.
She likes beer.
We'll go with that.
All right.
Yeah.
This show has to have a beer connection, right?
Well,
that's what I understood.
We can roam a little bit with topics, right? I mean, he's the host.
Yes, right. That's true.
That's a green light to kind of take it where we need to.
Hey, this is about beer and learning, but it's also just about hanging out, having fun. So
Right. All right.
Drinking beer, having a good time.
So do we?
Should we crack it open?
Hit this baby.
You want to talk about the unique foil that is on it? What other beer does that?
Yeah, there's foil on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really like it when they put foil on here. It seems kind of unneeded to me, but I think it's just to make it look better.
To open it.
Yeah. It makes it look more special.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, but the name isn't that what the normal Modelo should have, because it's a special cerveza?
Modelo Negra. And, yes, it's not the...
It doesn't have Especial?
No, it doesn't. And there are brands of Modelo, of course, that do have the Especial.
Yeah. But not this one.
Not this one.
But it's still Especial because
it's special. And it's the only Dunkel they brew.
Yeah. So that's special.
Yeah, that in and of itself.
There you go.
All right. Here we go.
Do the honors.
Yes.
Look at that.
Nice.
That was good.
That was good.
I already have mine open down here off camera.
Oh, okay. You did it off camera. You did it under the camera.
So you want to pour it?
Well,
what do we do?
I'm gonna try and pour mine. We're gonna see if it's a good pour or not. I'm gonna do it all on camera today, and everyone's gonna be able to see how it works out.
Should I do it while he's doing his? Or
unless you want to rate his?
We'll
stop and rate your
make
pour.
fun of his before we see. It doesn't have much of a head.
Something
that's a little bit something.
That's enough of a head.
And look at that.
I think it's it is very dark. It is,
yeah. See, he's got a little amberness in there as you hold it up to the light.
Okay, so you did like no tilt, and you still don't get much of a head.
Not much of a head. That's totally typical of these beers.
I'm gonna do the no tilt.
All of them.
Well, I mean, like I said pre-show, I think that will give you the best looking taster is if you do.
Yeah, honestly, the no tilt is the move for at least with these tiny glasses.
So do we do cheers?
Well, hold on.
Hold it up to the screen.
Do you want to smell it?
Oh
yeah. I'm trying out the aroma here.
All right, you're actually doing the professional thing.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want.
No, we can pretend. Look at that color. That's nice.
Yeah, it is a little bit amber kind of looking.
Yeah,
there.
It's got a little amber going. Little amber.
There's not much on the nose though. It's just it really doesn't. If I didn't look at it, I wouldn't know that it's like a dark lager. I don't think. I would be able to smell that it's kind of.
Yeah, see that to us looks amber.
Yeah, maybe it's
the lighting. We have overhead
like decently light, I guess.
Ours looks amber, whereas you hold up yours. Yours looks dark, except when you get really close, then you can see the amber.
Well, see, I think the problem is because like I have a light right here coming at me too, and my overhead.
Yeah. We have overhead.
We got overhead.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything to note on the smell?
I mean, I don't really get too much. I mean, it's just a little bit plain. To me, I mean,
it doesn't.
There's not much there.
No, not much there.
I get like a bit of maltiness.
I might get a little bit of like an alcohol tinge to it.
A little,
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, should we try it?
Let's try it.
All right,
cheers.
Where's my spin bucket? By the way, we have not been drinking before the show started.
No, we haven't.
No.
I haven't either. So, that was like very light. You know, it was.
It is a very light. It's easy. It's easy.
It seems highly carbonated, also.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I guess. Well, the thing with like dark beers, I guess, when you start going into the porter stout range, obviously like those aren't very carbonated a lot unless they're like trying to be, but I do feel like generally the paler beers feel like they're on average more carbonated, and then as you get darker it gets less carbonated, so maybe this is more carbonated considering it's a dark lager. Is that,
I mean, but I'm not even thinking of it that way. Like I'm thinking, you know, I can feel almost like a pinch on your tongue, you know, it's just kind of like a little sting. And I don't know if it's because of the alcohol or if it's because of the carbonation.
It's a little fizzy. It's a little fizzy.
Yeah. Good though. I mean, I think the thing that stands out to me the most about it is just very easy to drink. It has like the ease of drinking any of those light domestic beers, I feel like, but it's just, to me, it's a more interesting flavor. Like there's a little more going on.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't get the same kind of feeling if I drink a sorry Dan, a High Life. I get
you went
oh my god, please. I don't even want to hear that.
I'm the lone High Life fan of this trio.
No.
Like when I drink a High Life, I don't know, it does something to my stomach. I feel like, you know, I'm just kind of like, I don't really feel great.
Good either. Yeah.
But this, like, you know, it's pretty decent. You know, it's
nice, good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It reminds me almost of like a dark IPA, like a black IPA. I don't know if you ever had one of those.
You think it has like the
bitterness? No, not in terms of bitterness, but just like in terms of like the malt character. And
mouthfeel.
just the kind of feel of it. It just reminds me of when I've had those.
Yeah.
Definitely not bitter though. There's
No,
Right.
not bitter.
So the
I don't
vial
know that it's
statistics,
bad.
16 IBUs, right? So not very bitter at all. It is a little bit more bitter than I think your domestic lagers, which are sitting around 2 to 4, I think. But 15's not much, or 16's not much.
It's like a commercialized dark beer. You know, nothing too heavy
Yeah.
to upset a lot of people. Just right there in the middle, even keeled, easy to go down.
Old reliable.
It's a reliable beer. Yeah.
Now I don't know.
Nothing fancy. Yeah.
I don't know if you think this is fair, but the Untapped community has it sitting at a 3.29 rating out of 5. How fair do you think that is?
He doesn't know what Untapped is. You want to explain
I
that?
don't know
Sure.
what that means.
So Untapped is an app. You can also get to it on your computer, but it's an app of people who check in beers from breweries, right? So it has most beers you'll find. Sometimes you'll have to create a new one. I really don't like doing it because you have a lot of information to fill out. But basically, you rate it. You can take a picture of it so you remember what it looks like. You can put a comment on it. You can toast other people's check-ins, comment on them, talk, whatever, find venues, that kind of thing. And this beer has been rated on Untappd 251.9 thousand times.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Well, so how does that stack up? 3.29. Is that okay? Sounds like middle of the road, kind of.
Yeah. Well, for me, my average rating on all beers that I've had, which is a lot, 1700 or 1731 is my unique count. My average rating is a 3.61.
What is it? Sorry?
3.61.
3.61 is average.
Yeah, I feel like I would. Put
That's my
average.
I don't know about a global average, but yeah, so that's my average.
Yeah.
So
it's a little lower. See, I would say it's higher, but will.
Well,
For God's sakes.
we'll get to our
Yeah,
ratings.
right.
That's the next.
Are we
step.
supposed to secretly rate them?
No, it's not a secret. You do
okay.
it very publicly, and then he displays our rating
Okay, all right.
on the stream by
All
our
right.
names. So I assume he's still doing that.
yeah, so I'm setting it up now. So I only actually have one rating box for you guys.
That's all right. Well, we'll have to average our ratings.
Okay, we'll average
Yeah.
them. That's fine.
Or we'll hold up. Well, you'll hold up
I'm going
fingers.
high.
I'll get the box. You can hold up fingers.
And
Okay.
I didn't open these before show, so everyone's seeing the behind the scenes on stream in our cameras.
Fine. Now
Nobody
it's.
wants to see how the sausage is made, or the beer in this case. Do
Okay.
they?
I don't know.
It's a little behind the scenes. People like behind the scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There
Fine.
you go. From the host.
And this is a
himself.
1 to 5 rating, right?
I guess technically 0 to 5.
Yeah,
right?
technically 0 to 5.
Give a
yeah.
beer 0.
Okay.
Are there? I forget. I feel like you told me last time. Like, what is? Is there one lowest rated beer, or like Natty Light, for example? Like, how low can
How low
people
can they go?
can people's average ratings go? Like
Let me
let
me look at
Natty
Natty's.
Light. Like we talked about it last time. I feel like because people love to love terrible beer sometimes. Like
Really?
they like to rate it highly. Like our friend Robbie gave Natty Light a 5 because
I
that's
don't even know what Natty Light is.
it's natural light. It's
Okay.
like
Is it Budweiser?
it's like the generic brand. I think Anheuser-Busch makes it.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch makes it. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like we got a lot in St. Louis, and it's just like terrible college beer.
Yeah.
But some people love the idea of that for
it's
the
like-
novelty of it, so they give it a high rating.
It's like PBR in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
yeah,
similar. Right. But it's
is
objectively
which is
not like a
awful beer.
Yeah, it's not a good tasting beer, but people they
I
like
get
the
it.
idea of it, or they like
Yeah.
what it stands
It's
for.
kind of culty.
right.
in that way.
So I don't. So it's hard to take
The
any of
average
these
on
ra-
that though,
too seriously.
on 70,000 ratings, is a 2.12.
Okay.
On Natty Light?
Natty Light.
I
So
gave
if
it a
that-
1.
You think of that? You give it a 1. Alright.
Good for you. I would have given it a 0.
Yeah. That's.
And I haven't even had it.
You haven't even had it. You just no.
It sounds horrible. All right, what are we doing now?
Well, I'm thinking. the 3.29, I feel like it's in the ballpark, but
Yeah.
I agree. I think
On the low end.
I go a little higher because
Yeah.
I feel like my average with these would be right around a 3.5. Like to me, that's it's like a decent tasting beer.
Yes.
I'd be happy to drink it. Maybe I don't seek it out all the time, but it's like, it's good. It's good enough.
And you're not just saying that because you're my son.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just wanted to check in with you on that.
Yeah, you can check in all you want. So yeah,
because I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you, Bian, is your are our graphics ready? Should we give our ratings?
I'm ready for your rating.
All right, do you want to go first? You can go first.
All right.
Do you have a number? You can go to the just one decimal spot, right?
Okay.
Yeah, just like if you want to do like a 3.8. Yeah, I mean, just
Yes,
say that,
and that's actually what I was going to say. 3.8.
3.8.
Yes.
Wow.
3.8. I'm going to give it a 3.8.
It's hard because like I like that rating in that it's a very easy to drink beer.
Yes.
And I feel like that should factor into
okay.
rating, even if the flavor isn't like the greatest thing ever. If it's easy to drink, I do feel like that bumps up the rating a bit. I'll go a little lower. I'll say like
you should. If you
3.5, 3.6. Well, I'll go 3.55 if we can go to 2 decimal places.
I mean, are we averaging your two scores? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
Well, okay, sure. We're averaging.
them.
So for the sake of it, you said 3.8. I'll say 3.6 so we can average to 3.7.
Okay.
We don't want the difficulty of averaging 3.5
Thank
and
God
3.8.
you did the math on
I did the math for
Oh,
everyone.
my
Yeah. I saved you the trouble.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we have you at 3.7. Now I am a little bit lower. I think. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of lagers. I think my favorite kind of lager is an IPL, an India Pale Lager, just because it has a little bit of that bitterness and sort of IPA characteristic.
That sounds like a separate show because I've never even heard of an IPA.
I also have. Is there like one common one that I might have had by now that comes to mind?
I don't know. Let me think on it. I mean, the one that I'm remembering is from Maine. For whatever reason, my zeros cut off. Like, sometimes this happens. I'm giving it a 3.4.
All right.
I think it's solid, but, like I said, it's just not my favorite.
Yeah.
That's okay. It is easy to drink, though.
It is
very easy to drink. I mean, that's all I have left, so.
Did you kill this?
No, no, the last is yours. Go ahead. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
So, how do you rate this compared to just like a normal Modelo? Because I haven't had Modelo enough to say like, oh, I remember the flavor. If you had both of those together, which one do you think you'd say is better?
Do you get Modelo?
I see, and I don't typically, but I have had them before, and it's just it's kind of a light lager. It's a pretty light lager, and it may be a little actually. Now that you pointed it out, Nikolai, a little on the higher carbonation side.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just a thing they do down there, or at least the Modelo brewery.
Yeah, I guess I also think of like Coronas as pretty high carbonation.
Yeah,
especially when you drop the lime into Corona.
They're the same company, right?
Taking into account that they want a little.
What'd you say?
The Modelo and Corona, they're the same company. They have the same parent, I think.
Wait, did you look that up, or
were you? Maybe you were
telling me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that was his thing. That was his research.
His research. Yeah. I actually don't know if I've had normal Modelo much, if at all. But I feel like I can imagine what it tastes like, and maybe just because we're talking about Corona, I'm just putting it in the Corona category. But I don't know. I feel like any beer of like this similar, like where the flavors aren't too interesting, like they're mostly similar beers, but one of them's darker. I just think I prefer that like slight maltiness edge that the darker beer has.
Yeah.
So
I just checked this in on Untapped, and that is my 5th beer from Mexico.
Okay.
So I earned the badge Cerveza Matador.
There you go. You got a badge.
Good.
You got him a badge. What are your other Mexican beers?
Let's see. Let me filter real quick.
I can't name a ton.
Well, Pacifico. Tecate.
Oh, yeah. Sol? Is Sol?
Sol, I think.
So I've had...
They're all light.
Yeah,
Corona.
they're all light.
Modelo. I've had Modelo Especial, Dos Equis Amber, Dos
Dos
Equis
Equis.
Lager Especial, and then Corona Refresca Passion Fruit Lime.
Interesting. Okay. What rated the highest of those?
I think the Corona Refresca. No, the Modelo. So this one is a 3-4. The Corona Refresca I gave a 3.
Okay.
The
This Modelo rated the highest of all your Mexican beers.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty
So
cool.
we're right there.
I actually haven't had a
100
Mexican beer since 2019, and before that one, which that one was the Corona, I only had Mexican beers in 2016. So
Oh wow.
You need to catch up.
Yeah, you
there.
do have catching up to.
Yeah.
I've never been to Mexico, so
Well,
there's your first problem.
yeah,
you gotta
that's
get
it.
there.
You do. You got to get
Yeah.
there. I also want to point out that Modelo was the beer of the Chicago White Sox.
Was it?
Last season, yeah, and the season before that.
Modelo.
So-
Did they specify which Modelo? You gotta think back to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember? I think it was the 2020 season how they had the Modelo Especial logo in the field, and if a player hit the ball to it, everybody would get like free something.
If they did pick a specific Modelo, it should have been this one.
It should have, but it's
the
not.
White Sox
Yeah.
are black in color.
Yes, the White Sox colors are
my
black
question
and white.
is did they also put it on the board, as the announcer guy says?
Yeah, you can put it on the board.
There
Yes, they did have it on the board.
Yeah,
Yes, they did. So there you have it.
I'm not from
all the
Chicago,
more reason,
so
yes, but all the more reason for Chicago people to enjoy Modelo,
Yeah.
and in particular, plug it again.
Yep.
The
Give it a
Modelo
plug.
Negra.
hashtag not an ad.
Not what?
He's not paid by them to say this. Is what
No.
I'm saying.
No,
I am
not
not.
an ad. Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish I were, but
Well, but one day this. that's where
He's
this
open
show is
to be
gonna
it
go.
though. I mean,
I am open to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I feel like the show as a whole, eventually you'll start attracting some beer sponsors, and they'll plug their brewery while we try their beers.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure, but I will say definitively, we have integrity. So just because anything is a sponsor does not mean I'll rate it higher. So
There you
No,
go.
of course, but just the idea of having it on the show and giving it an honest review.
Right.
yeah.
It's coming soon.
Well, you might be open to that, depending on how big the sponsorship is.
Right. Well, we don't know how discussions are gonna
Just
go.
kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we moving on now?
Yeah, I think that's a good point to move on.
Yeah. Good beer.
Yeah.
It's good. I normally don't drink that much of the first beer, especially when I have 4. So we'll see how it goes.
You got a show to run here.
I accidentally switched back. All right, there we go. So the next one we were doing is the Doppelbock Dunkel.
That's a Doppelbock.
So
It's a
I have
big
a
bottle.
huge bottle of it.
Yeah,
do
we
too.
have the same thing.
I don't know if it comes in any smaller bottles, but
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now
I'm gonna try the pour
Is
here.
it, I think it's like 16.9 ounces or something like that.
Yeah, 1.9 fluid ounces. Yeah,
the
500
bigger bottle.
milliliters. So
The bigger bottles are designed to make you feel a lot better about the beer by the time you're through with it.
Right.
For
Unless
the optimum rating.
you're
Now-
splitting it between two people.
There you go.
We've gamed the system. in that
now
way.
I opened mine here, and it is
What is
foaming.
that?
It's foaming already. I don't know what happened. I have not tried to pour it. It's just
an automatic like negative
Yes.
5 that it's starting off with. We're even.
So-
What is that?
No, there is some foam up here too.
Yeah, we have a
All
little
right.
bit of foam.
So
All right, this one's
is
foaming
gonna-
up.
This is gonna give.
You're doing tilt.
I am doing a bit of a tilt. Should we not tilt?
No. I think that was a good call because it seems to be foaming easier than the last one.
Yeah, it is a little bit easier. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take the
I'll
pillow.
do a minimal tilt.
okay. So here's my pour. Yeah, we do have a little more foam. It's
Yeah.
about 3/4 of an inch. Just falling quickly. I think it's pretty decent. This one actually looks a little more amber to me when I'm looking at it.
It's more hazy.
It is
too.
more hazy.
It's
Yeah,
more hazy.
you can't see through it at all.
Which, it could be there is sediment in here. I don't know if there's actually sediment in the bottle.
So what is that? Well, Bock, right? Bock is sediment, right? From the fermentation.
You smell it?
Well, but I don't know if it is bottle condition though, which I don't see any yeast in here. Because like sometimes beers they leave yeast in there to do a secondary fermentation. I don't think that's the case with this. Now most bocks are lagers.
Yeah.
Some bocks are not lagers. This one I believe is because it's dunkel, but there are like I don't know, like what are their names? Are they like Weizenbocks? Those are ales. They're all from Germany, but bocks are generally higher in ABV. I mean, this one's what?
Yeah.
7.1%, right?
Okay.
And you can have a double Bock also, so that's even stronger. I think these generally, when I've had them, have been very malt forward too.
Yeah, this is very malty.
Mm-hmm.
I smell it. You smell that?
Yeah,
It's
very
much,
roasty.
yeah, roasty, malty.
Yeah, and I don't know. These kind of beers, sometimes they're okay. These are generally I don't like these as much as I do your less malty lager. I feel like lager, I just want like a crisp, refreshing.
Clean.
Yeah,
Clean,
more
yeah.
triple.
This one I don't think is going to be crisp and clean because it's hazy.
Oh,
It's looking
Yeah.
pretty hazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
shall
know,
we? No.
one thing that I will say is I don't know on mine. I don't know if I see too much haze. It could be that it's chilled a little bit more on your side because there is a such thing as a chill haze. So you you could get some haziness from that.
Can you see through yours? Mine's totally.
Yeah, you cannot.
I can't see anything.
It's opaque.
Like,
Opaque.
I can see your face on the screen. Whenever
Really?
How do we
yeah.
look?
How do we look through yours?
Well, so
Cannot see you
We
through
don't.
ours.
Well, it's also light. You have
difference,
a
yeah,
light
I have a light
plastic.
right here, right? So that's also probably why.
So
I mean,
what temperature is yours? Is it? It's not room temperature, is it?
it's not room temperature yet, but I did get these beers out of the fridge probably 20-ish minutes before show.
It's cold.
Yeah, wait. I'm always curious about like the ideal temperature for different beers. Can you talk a bit about that, or like what, how these would be different than each other or versus lighter
Sure.
beers?
So I think the general idea, if you go to any bar, it's going to be 38 degrees, or that's what the standard is, right? And
Everything.
Hmm?
Everything will be 38 degrees.
yeah, the whole tap system is set to make it 38 degrees, which is kind of unfortunate. And if they ever offer you a frosted glass, I mean, that seems
That's coming my way
It's this guy.
because that's what I like.
Generally, I think if you get colder beer, it's to hide some imperfection or impurity inside, right? That's why all these with the, make the mountains turn blue or whatever kind of gimmick to make you almost freeze your beer. It's so that you don't taste that there's some
crappy.
sort of,
Terrible.
right,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the ideal temperature for a lot of beers, it depends on what it is, right? I think IPAs, stouts, what's up, Kevin? Those kind of things are going to be a little bit warmer, whereas this, I would say, could probably be a little bit cooler than those. I mean, maybe 45-ish would be a good temperature for this beer. You're like an imperial stout, I might even want it like 55, right? Like kind of a cellar temperature. So. But
You said IPAs you want on the colder side or warmer side?
Like an IPA for me, I would want it to be probably 45 to 50 degrees, I think.
I feel like I lean colder on IPAs, but maybe that's wrong.
Well, I mean, an IPA a lot of times, especially with the kind that I like, I think the New England style, which is now hazy, as we learned a few weeks ago, it really opens up the flavors when it gets warmer, right? You can taste more of the fruit. You can taste more of like the hop flavor. And if it's colder, it's going to be muted, right? And so maybe this is a test we should do on a show sometime, is to get two of the same beer and say, okay, this one is room temperature. This one is right out of the freezer or fridge, not freezer. Or I guess we could freeze one too, but
Write that down. That's a good idea.
I learned that if you freeze them, sometimes you have explosions. So you don't want to freeze them too long.
We learned that too. We learned that. Is it sophomore year we learned that with explosion fridge? We didn't put it in the freezer.
In the freezer.
But because our mini fridge was like,
super cold.
as you got to the ceiling of it, it like sort of turned into the freezer. So I had some
yeah.
beers that were too close and they popped.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll pop.
Because that happened in the one you guys rented, right? That wasn't in mine.
I don't remember where it happened, but I remember experiencing it.
I'm pretty sure it was in y'all's. I don't remember having to clean mine. I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Well, shall we?
Should we dig in?
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Malty.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. It's a smooth flavor, but I do taste a lot of like graininess.
A lot of what?
Like it tastes like I'm chewing on a roasted grain, I think.
Yeah, it's very roasty and sweet. And
It is sweet, roasty, and malty. Very malty.
But I guess malt is like that roasty flavor, right?
Well, the roast is from the roast, right? So when you roast a malt, you're going to get a little bit more of a charred kind of flavor, a little bit more toasted flavor.
Wait, but I thought the malt is the roasting or like cooking of barley. Am I all out of sorts here?
So the malt a lot of times is barley, right? It can be 2-row or 6-row. But for a lot of the beers that are darker, right, you're going to have malts that have been charred, toasted, whatever, dried out a little bit. And so that's where that flavor comes from. But the malts are also where the sugar in the beer comes from. So all the sweetness that's left over is going to be from unfermented sugar. I think Bocks generally are like 13 to 16 Plato is what I was reading. So and that's why they're also higher ABV, right? Because there's more sugar in there. And I'm assuming there's just quite a bit that's unfermented inside this beer.
You mentioned a Greek guy there, Plato. Now what was that all about?
So Plato Plato's a measurement of how much sugar is in the beer.
Sweet.
So there's something called gravity, right? And there's an original gravity, there's a final gravity, there's a specific gravity. The original is how much is in there when you start fermentation, right? So you put the wort inside the tank. You put the wort inside the tank and you measure it and you're like, okay, it's at 16 Plato or something, right? And then you let it ferment for, I don't know, a couple weeks, whatever, and then you measure it again. You say, okay, now it's at whatever Plato, and there's a calculation in there, and we talked about it on the show. I don't remember what it is because I just don't keep it in mind, but the amount of sugar that decreases will tell you basically how much alcohol is in the beer, or at least roughly. I mean, it's not exact, and you'd have to like analyze in a lab for an exact amount, and I'm assuming a lot of them probably do at this point, but Plato is just the unit that is used, degrees Plato.
Got it. Yeah, this is very sugary and sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've had so many barley wines, but to me, for whatever reason, I'm associating this with a barley wine flavor. Is that sort of accurate?
I mean, I actually kind of get the same thing, yeah. I'm thinking back to some of the ones from like Lagunitas at Cicero's. Yeah, they're very sweet, kind of in your face. Like that malty flavor that comes through, it almost makes me kind of just feel like, because it's almost unpleasant at some point.
Yeah, and it also kind of hangs out in your mouth, on your tongue afterwards. At least it is for me.
Yeah.
You don't have a poker face. It's not going down well. I'm not enjoying this, Nikolai. I gotta be honest with you.
Well, the
I
Untapped,
definitely don't like it as much as the other one.
The Untapped community did rate it 3.71, right?
7.1.
Yeah.
They love. Well, you have to know that people using Untapped,
snob kind
it's
of
way more beer snobby type people, so they're more likely to see like the nuance in these unique flavors, even if they're kind of bad tasting.
It's not nuance. It's malty. It's malty roasted.
I mean,
but I feel like it's very aggressively something.
Yes, it is aggressively
because
malty.
it's aggressively something. I feel like Untapped loves that.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Like the super high alcohol content beers can be 20% beer, taste terrible, but they're gonna love it because it's very aggressively.
They really like bourbon barrel aged beers. That is like the number one style on it.
Oh, tastes good.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah, they love their dragon's milk, as we learned from beer school. There was this crew at beer school that loved their dragon's milk, and they'd go crazy if anyone mentioned it. It was the best
See,
thing ever.
that is like a bourbon beer to me,
Yeah.
and it takes away from the beer. I mean, beer should taste like beer.
It's a very
More like beer
yeah,
than
it's
something
a very
else.
different flavor than
Yeah,
other
it's
beer.
not.
I mean, okay, I think this is one thing that interests me, right? Like, what does beer taste like? Is beer sort of the, like light American lager or the, American lager? Is that like what beer is here? Because in Germany, like this originated probably, I don't know, 1800s or so. I don't know.
Yeah. He's of like the more boring beer types, like the Modelo or like a lot of Sam Adams beers he likes, where they're not such like aggressive flavors, I guess. Like they're way better than the domestic lagers, but I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in your sense the beer flavor is sort of that more neutral, not like not too much of anything, just sort of
that's more of the beer
a level
to me.
simple beer.
Yeah.
So,
but
but not harsh either. Like
I know
the Budweiser or Millers of the
right.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
those aren't good.
That's like the beer taste at its worst, in my opinion.
But so what would you say makes that beer worse tasting than the beers that you like? Because flavor-wise, none of the beers you like are that complex, and I would say that the domestic beers obviously don't have.
But it's not complex. It doesn't have any good flavor to it.
So it's like
drinking
the more
like bitter
flavor.
water,
right?
They
are
bitter
more
water.
I guess.
It's carbonated.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I think that these lagers are, I mean, at least like with the first one, it doesn't have as much flavor as some other beers, but it doesn't have the negativity that I feel whenever I drink like a Bud Light. So
yeah. I mean, I guess I can appreciate what this beer is going for, but it's definitely not for me.
It's not anywhere we want to go.
No, and I probably would not want to drink it again.
No,
even if given the option.
Well, you have the option.
Well, I have the option. We have more of it, and I just lied. I'm gonna have more.
Yes,
I'm gonna keep drinking it.
Yeah.
So while we were still, on this beer before we change over, so we do have a Natalia Jimenez fan in chat. The account was created only a few minutes ago, so they had to be here while we were talking about her, I imagine.
All right. Maybe you should play some of that in the background.
Yeah, wait, can you? I guess you can play music during a stream, right?
I mean...
you don't have to.
All right, that's fine.
We'll listen to it after.
I will play Creo.
Will you play Creo?
I will play Creo. Yeah. Now, you won't be able to hear it unless you're watching the stream.
Oh, all right.
We are, but it's muted.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want the mic picking up the stream.
Right.
Because it's on delay. Yeah.
Well, will people be able to hear us? Because obviously that's way more important than listening to.
Well, do you want us to keep going, over the music, or you want to just like take a break, listen to the song, and then resume?
I say we keep
going.
I have it in the background, so.
Yeah, have it in the background. As long as it's not overwhelming discussion, because the discussion is pretty stimulating. Oh yes.
And how is it? Yeah. The good thing is. Hold on. All right, what now? So the good thing is no music will be on the recording afterwards. So it'll only be us talking anyway.
You're just doing this for the stream.
Yep.
What I was going to ask is, how is it that you guys discovered this artist?
We just went over that.
I forgot.
You missed that. He was in a Latin American.
I was contemplating my Modelo.
Yeah, Survey of Latin American Culture.
Yeah, Latin American Studies. Mm-hmm. Got it. But was that? Did the professor tell you to listen to that?
Yeah. Wait, was it like part of a project or something?
Yeah. So it was part of my final paper, which had to be like 20 plus pages in a 100 level class, mind you. So basically, I had to talk about like Hispanic culture, music, movies, just everything, right? And in a big paper, and so we had to have at least 3 pieces of like media and arts. And so, as I was searching for stuff, this came up.
What was the movie that you loved from that class?
Well, we watched so many movies. We watched more movies in that class than Dennis did in his film studies.
That's great.
The movie Roma wasn't out then, was it? Was that 2017?
What was the name of that movie?
I got it. It was, I think
Y
it
tu
was
mama
Y-
tambien.
Y tu Mama
Yeah,
Tambien.
that's what it was. Yeah.
And your mother too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Did you see that ever?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just translating for
You're just the
those folks
translator,
out
yeah.
there that
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
I will
No.
go ahead and give a warning. It's definitely rated R, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I imagine it is.
Well, thank you.
It sounded like it was based on some of the scenes you described to us.
The first scene, man, they just go straight for it. It just no hiding behind, easing in. They're just so
In your face.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any beer involved in that? I'm reaching for that.
I mean,
Basic.
You really want.
Yeah,
You did this with the last Latin American artist or art that we talked about.
What was that?
The Natalia Jimenez, you were asked her song that he's now playing for everyone.
Yes.
Before that was the last time you tried to bring beer back in.
I think
And now anytime
theme of the show.
anytime Latin American art comes up, you need to tie it back to beer.
Is there anybody drinking beer in the movie at any time?
Probably.
maybe because they're on a summer road trip, right? So
So you gotta have beer.
See,
for
one of
summer.
your segments should be on, beer in movies.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it could be. Look, we're open to all kinds of segments around here. So
There you go.
that would actually be interesting. Like, I mean, I guess I don't know how much they actively like advertise or show or make it a point to show the beer that characters are drinking.
Wait,
in
but
movies.
there is a beer isn't there the Beer Fest?
Beer
movie?
Fest is a movie. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but that's like drinking games. Like they don't talk about the specific beer. I feel like,
Yeah.
right? Or am I thinking of a different movie?
No, but
there's some
anything
drinking
beer-
game movie that I
beer
feel like is
oriented.
Beer Fest.
they
would
order
be fun.
beer and tequila. Okay, well, there you go. There you have
Okay.
it.
All right.
Okay.
It's-
That's what I'm
All
being
right.
told. I don't know if that's true. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have a fact checker here, do we?
No, well, people are in the chat that we can't
right.
see.
Alright.
We like chat. Chat helps
Yeah.
us out. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
says it's
I
true.
mean, if you don't want me to connect it to beer anymore, I just
Well, it's not my show. It's
you can connect
I'm
to
just
beer all you
chill.
want. However, I am
Yeah.
going to keep us
you're
moving.
reaching for all the connections. Is the problem. You're not actively.
Well, okay,
connecting.
he's hosting here.
Yeah.
So, the next beer that we have, because I know that Dan doesn't really like the
We
Bock
didn't
here.
know this though.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
we-
I
hey, we
totally
didn't-
forgot about that. Look,
Yeah.
the song
I
threw me
forgot
off.
already.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and rate it. It's not going to show up on screen because I've already changed the screen. But Untapped is 371 rating. Okay, for me,
Ooh.
I give this a 3.2.
3-2. I like that rating a
Yeah.
lot. I'm going lower than a 3-2. I'm gonna, unless you want to go first. You want to go first?
No, you go.
All right, I guess you went first last time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 2.8.
Yeah.
2.8.
Solid 2.8.
And
Yeah.
and I will give it a 2.7. A solid 2.7.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So averaged out. I'll let you do it this time.
But 2.7 and
And
2.8.
2.8. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 2.75.
Wow.
That's it.
I don't have a
a-
calculator.
No, don't
I
fact
did
check
not.
him on
I
that.
did not
Wow.
go anywhere near a calculator or phone. I didn't use it.
I mean, look, someone must have. He must have an earpiece. I don't know. That's that was a difficult one.
It was for me. It was close to a math story problem. So yeah,
As close as we
That's
can get
about
on
as
this
hard
show,
as
I
it
guess.
is.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
moving on.
Are we moving on now?
Yeah.
Well, I have to
Okay.
So
Nick,
Okay.
did you finish your Bock? Your Doppelbock?
No.
No, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
having to slow down. I mean, I have 2 more beers here. That's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's also why does the bottle have to be so big?
Oh
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
one?
Like why? It's way too big.
It's because it's not. It's my theory. It's not as good of a beer. They want people to just enjoy the alcohol and say, "Wow, that was a really good beer."
But this is also the type of beer that I would like take a sip of and be like, "Oh, that's interesting." I wouldn't
Yeah.
want a whole bottle
no,
of it.
Yeah.
that's
But
true.
and I feel like most people would have that reaction because it's so
Right, but
in your
that's why they
face.
give you more because they know people are going to reject it right away.
Maybe they want you to share it with friends.
Oh,
that
they
way,
might.
yeah. Then they give you more so they can upcharge you a little bit, so that
Yeah,
because you don't
true.
buy another one, you already bought a little bit more anyway.
Right. Because I did just buy a single bottle of this. I
Yeah.
didn't get like a pack.
And you
Same.
probably had to pay.
It was
some
like
kind of a premium. Yeah.
$4.50 or something. So
Not too bad.
yeah. kind of a lot. But
It is kind of a lot, but I mean,
Think about what you pay for
I
that.
had a beer last night that cost me $10 for a can. So
right.
Wow.
Yeah. And was that worth it in your opinion? Not to get totally off track with a new beer, but
it's worth it for me just because I like trying stuff, right? I mean, it's my pastime to try different beers. It's
your hobby, for God's sakes.
It's so it was worth it. I gave it a 4.2. It was sweet, kind of roasty. It was a nice.
And it was a banana stout. Is that right?
Yeah. So the name of it is.
You like that?
Some people are immune to good banana stout by Evil Twin Brewing, which is in Brooklyn, New York.
Immune to good banana stout. Yeah. You might be in that category.
I might. Yeah.
So they have banana and maple syrup. They add both of those to it.
Yeah, I'm
very morning breakfasty.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, should we move on?
let's move on.
I've already switched scene here, so we're already on the Lineys and
already moved on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone show your bottle.
Okay,
so
there it is.
We have see my light. It's.
I know that's the problem with the light is it does blast the label.
Yeah.
But
so
this
one, the Leinenkugel's toasted Bock. Are you concerned that this is going to be remotely close to the Bock that we just had?
No, I know it's not.
I guess I would have been concerned, but I know he's had it before, and and it sounded like it was a beer that was a lot less.
And don't forget, Leine's is much more commercial than than Andechser. I mean, people are not drinking Andechser shandies in the summertime. I don't think.
Well, I mean, also Leine's is from the U.S., so they're probably going to tailor their flavors a little bit more to the U.S. palate.
True. Yeah, good point.
What's interesting, I think the only Leinenkugel beers I've ever had are some type of shandy. Like I've had the summer shandy a bunch, but they also make all these different fruit flavors, like a raspberry or I don't know, strawberry, cherry. Like I feel like I've had a bunch of different flavors, but I didn't realize they made like
They started with just a basic lager. I mean, that's how they started. They've been around for a long time.
And you've had their basic lager?
Yeah. I mean, Leine's is a Wisconsin favorite. Yeah.
And as we learned a few weeks ago, the shandy style is kind of like the Radler style from Germany. So it's usually a lager and a juice mixture, right? Like
Radler. I was telling you.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about the Radler.
He says Radler. You say it the German way.
Oh yeah. You've Americanized.
We've Americanized it.
Call it Radler.
Radler. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
R-A-D-L-E-R. Yeah, Radler. But
it's right. It's like is the idea? It's kind of like half fruit juice, half beer, essentially.
It's either 50-50, 60-40, something like that generally.
Yeah.
And like I said, the story, if you weren't here for that, the story was that there were a bunch of cyclists going through Germany. They stopped off at a tavern, and he wasn't going to have enough beer, so he was like, oh, well, I need to combine it with something to increase my supply, and there the Radler was born. So
there you go. All right.
I am curious what the difference is, if there is one, between a shandy and a Radler, because they sound like kind of the same.
I think geography. So like the Radler is going to be from like Germany, and then the shandy is going to be like British.
Yeah, I had shandy. Ginger ale shandies with beer.
So that was just ginger ale and beer.
Ginger ale and beer. Yeah,
nice. And that's pretty cool.
That to me was the original shandy.
Yeah. He was born in was it Leeds?
No, it was London.
London.
Yeah.
So he's a shandy man.
So my parents were giving us shandies when we were mere wee lads.
Now,
start Europe.
Yeah.
This is one thing I've asked Daniel before: is like, how good is your accent? Because obviously it does.
That's what he does every time. He throws out this one word, not even trying anything, and so it's that.
I've been here since I was 7, so that was several years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you lose it, especially if you come over as a preteen. Mm-hmm. You pretty much are going to lose it. Mm-hmm. Teens, they still will have something of it,
Yeah.
And it all depends how much you want to hold on to it too. It's hard.
Although if you go, like I'm thinking of Margot, my cousin who was born and raised in France, actually is totally bibilingual with French and English, but she went to school in England and sort of picked up this weird English-French accent. Which is interesting because, like,
it's more English,
but English. Like you came here when you were younger and lost your English accent immediately. Yeah. She went to England when she was like, you know, in her late teens, and then picked up some of that.
But accent. She wasn't coming from a similar. That's a hard word to say.
Similar is not hard.
It is after several of these, but anyway, no. She was coming from a non-English speaking country. See, I came from an English speaking country to another English speaking country. Yeah, although it's American English, but so it's anyway. That's my excuse.
All right.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyway,
I think we digressed on that one.
A little linguistics thrown in the middle.
So I'm going to go ahead and pour the lineies, but while I do that, we have a question of can anyone do a better accent than him? I'm going to say I cannot at all because I'm from the South. So.
Hello, I cannot either.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Good, isn't it?
Yes.
See, the problem for me is that there's so many different like accents that you get over in the UK. You know, there's not just the English accent. It's like, you have many the posh accent, you have this accent, whatever.
Yeah, the Cockney from I think the
there's one that you can't even understand. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
northern England is hard to understand as you get far north.
If you ever watch, have you watched Peaky Blinders? I love the variety of that.
I know that you've recommended it to me before, and it's
I need subtitles.
They're from Birmingham.
With some of that, then there's that one episode with the Irishman that you literally could not understand. Like that was the episode that made me turn on subtitles.
That's right.
Anyway, it's a fun show if you're interested.
It's a great show.
A bunch of different
and if you're interested in seeing people drink a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of drinking, but not beer.
Beer.
Mostly whiskey.
They're whiskey.
Yeah,
guys.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
here,
check the color.
Yeah, very amber.
This one's more similar to the Modelo.
Yeah, I would say even a little bit more amber.
Yeah, I think I can see through this one pretty easily.
Yeah,
it's definitely more.
I don't even really have to get close to it. I mean, I can just hold it up and boom.
And not hazy at all.
No, very clear.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that I'll like this.
And also not much of a head either. I mean, less of a head.
Yeah, mine had none. I mean, you could blame it on the pour, but it was not.
These aren't very heady.
So what do we smell?
So the vital statistics on this. Just take your aroma in real quick. The vital statistics on this. So it's 21 IBUs, 5.1%. So it's less alcohol, a little bit more bitter, a couple points. But I don't really get that off the nose. I don't really smell much bitterness. It smells pretty similar to all the other ones. I know they're pretty close range. I think like 16 to 22 are the different ranges, or like that's the entire range of these four beers.
I'm not picking up that heavy malt like we did with the Andechser.
No, but I do feel like I'm picking up more than we got with the Modelo. Like to me, this feels like in between both of the ones we had.
Absolutely, yes.
Which I'm optimistic about.
Yeah,
I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive in.
On that note.
All right, here we go.
All right,
cheers.
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 Yeah, definitely you don't have whatever it is that makes these kind of German Bocks taste how they do. Yeah. You don't have that, right? It might be based on the Bock style, but it is a little bit different.
It's Bock style. Yeah, I agree. It's it's more of a Bock for the masses.
Right.
It's not for the beer
It's a way more drinkable Bock, which I guess we probably should have expected.
Yes, well,
considering
it's commercialized.
This one is a Doppelbock Dunkel. Like it sounded about as heavy as it could be.
And I will say, that one is true to its average. It's a double Bock.
Yep.
So you would expect that to be much more malty and roasty.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas this is just, you get some of that, but
it's a lot easier.
In my opinion, a lot easier on taste.
Yeah, it's really like it's It's a different world, I think. Like the last one we did, it was so malty and in your face.
Yeah.
Like I just cannot bring myself to drink an entire bottle of it. I just can't.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's too much.
it's a big bottle.
You got to be a heavy Bock fan to go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad they sold it just by the single bottle because
I'm gonna be
it seemed
completely honest.
big investment otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Bock fan possible. I don't think that's a trait that someone can have. If you do, I don't know. That's a little bit off to me.
Really? That's a hot take on this week's episode.
Hey,
you'll be surprised if you ever meet someone that says they're a fan of Bock's.
I mean, like if that is your go-to drink or your go-to beer, yeah, I'm pretty surprised. Even if you're from Germany, I would expect you to have like an affinity towards a Kolsch or a Pilsner or just something else.
Yeah.
Who's going for the Doppelbock Dunkel? I don't know.
I don't know. Not us.
No, maybe somebody who likes, who's already into like porters and stouts or something like that.
But it's not. But porters and stouts.
It's not the same thing. It's not thick like that, and
right.
But it's got like a specific kind of a taste.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, this was just like just so overly sweet and felt like it was coating my tongue.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much.
And I think part of that was because it was so. It felt like
and it's
dense.
Actually sweet too. You know, like with a lot of these stouts, especially milk stouts that have lactose suspended in the beer, you're not getting a lot of sweetness from that, right? You might get a little bit more body. It might taste a little more full, but you're not going to get generally like a ton of sweetness. Right? It's not like you're just taking a cup of sugar. Whereas this thing, it actually does taste sweet.
It feels like they probably like boiled a bunch of sugar and threw it in there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they boiled the barley or whatever, and then
I don't think they did that.
Well,
but they used a lot of sugar. Obviously, more sugar, the higher the alcohol content.
Well, yeah. Well, to get the sugar out, I mean, they probably use a lot more. I don't know if they use barley or what, but let's just assume they use barley. Then they probably threw a lot more of that in the boil than what you normally would for, this beer, that's toasted Bock that we have. So it released more, and they don't ferment it all out, so some still stays in there. I actually like this one a lot more than the last one, but Untapped, they say it's only 3.58.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna have to disagree with that, but
I don't know. I mean, I do feel like I would rate this, more or less around where I rated the Modelo. Like to me, it's not far and away better. I think it is slightly above it.
I agree with that. It's definitely got different notes in there.
Yeah, like it's a little more interesting.
It is.
I think the Modelo is probably, and I'm glad we started with the Modelo too, because it feels like the most sort of baseline. And the rest of these are sort of like
that's absolutely
piling up some stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, the reason that I picked this order is because of the bitterness, right? I usually go by bitterness unless there's something crazy going on. There would be an argument to put the Doppelbock later in the order, but I think it's fine where it was.
Yeah, that's fine.
My rating on this one, I think Untapped is pretty spot on, actually. I think 3.58 is solid. So I'm going to give it a 3.6.
Okay. You go.
I'm gonna have to give it a 3.9.
3.9.
Mm-hmm.
What did we give the Modelo?
3.8. Well, I gave it a 3.8.
And I gave it a 3.6. I think.
3.7.
Yeah, I do feel like I like this a little bit more than Modelo, but not by a ton.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 3.8. I'll give it a 3.8.
Okay. So what was your average?
Well, you want me to do them?
I want you to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good at these.
I'm gonna give it a wild guess.
No calculator. Let's see your hands. No calculator.
I am not. I'm free of calculator.
No earpieces.
What about earpieces?
No
earpieces.
No earpieces.
He took it out after last time.
I took it out. I'm gonna say, and it's a pure guess, but I'm gonna say it's a 3.85. Judges?
Is that correct?
I don't know what you individually rated it. I was inputting my own rating. That's why I was legitimately asking.
There's a 3.9 and a 3.8.
Okay.
385 is
385 is correct then. Yeah.
That's what I got too. Yeah.
That
Thank
is genuinely good math. So we have someone in chat who really would like your father to drink the beer, which I thought he was, but I don't know.
He drinks these really quickly.
All right, I will do this. Okay, look, there's some left.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There you
Oh.
Save it.
Look at that. No spillage.
No spillage.
Do I get an extra point for that? No.
No.
Okay. Okay, there. Okay, and cheers to you, viewers.
The name of the person is Sam Thrax. So
I believe I know that person. Here's to you, Sam.
So I will not be chugging mine, but I thought it was.
You have several more.
I thought it was good. I think Untapped did a really good job on this one. Generally, though, I think it's really style dependent. Like I think they undervalue some of the ones that I like, and they overvalue the ones that I don't. Generally.
Yeah, probably the more beer snobby one type. The ones that aren't that as well known, maybe, and or maybe just have like one thing going for them.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's
rated highly.
That's kind of my theory.
One note wonders, we'll call them.
We can call them that. Yeah, I
feel wonders. Yeah.
Feel like any beer that's like really hard in a certain direction.
Yeah.
People are just gonna be like, oh, like this is a cool thing,
yeah.
And they're not really gonna think about if they like really want to drink it as opposed to other beers. They just like the novelty of it and maybe the uniqueness.
Well, let's ask the beer expert. Is it better to have a lot of different notes for a beer? Does that make for a better beer? As a beer connoisseur, do you want to have that?
I'm gonna say that it depends on the style, right? I think it really depends if you're going for like your American lager or are you going for like a Doppelbock Dunkel, right? I mean, I think all beer is good.
We can all agree on that. All beer is good.
In its purest form, like just beer is good. As we say, it's the nectar of the gods. So
there you go.
Well put.
Yes, very well put.
Yeah.
But it just really depends, especially if you're going for like a beer judging, right? For your homebrew, for example. If you go in there with a really flavorful and crazy lager, they're gonna be like, something happened in this beer that I don't know that it's actually good. Or but if you start getting like banana flavors, for example, in your beer, right? It'd be fine if it was in the Hefeweizen because that's supposed to be there. But in a lager, it's probably not supposed to be there. Your temperature is probably too warm, and lagered beers are generally cooler when they're fermenting anyway than your ales. So.
Have you homebrewed before?
I have homebrewed. Yeah, I used to homebrew.
Here, dude?
Yes.
And what do you remember? What style of beer?
I mean, it was you would purchase the wort and then put that in there, and they had different types of wort depending on what you wanted to make. And so they would say, like, if you want to make a lager, then you use this kind of wort.
And the wort wasn't something that you made?
No, it came out of a can because I didn't have access to barley and hops.
Well, there are like certain shops and stores that sell that
I wasn't
okay.
Going.
So you just got like the
because that would have been too much. Because then, you'd have to make that, and it's easier to open up a can of wort.
Sure.
Throw it in there, and then you add sugar, and depending on how much sugar you want to add, that increases the alcohol. But there's a fine line because if you put too much in, it does it's overly sweet. And you don't want that.
Like this gentleman.
You want to have enough where it makes your yeast happy, so that they basically release.
I will plug something here.
Yeah, they poop out alcohol. Yeah. We've been over this many times.
They poop and burp out alcohol and have gas.
And CO2. So CO2 is another one.
Yeah.
I will say, this is not a paid sponsorship either, but if you are interested in home brewing, I mean, there are a lot of stores, and you can get discounts from the Beer Guru app if you're a member of the American Homebrewers Association. I know when I was in Maine, the homebrew store in Godna, as they call it, Gardner. You would get like 10 or 20% off, I think, and you can also get discounts at restaurants and stuff like that. So it's only like $37 a year, I think. So it's not a bad deal, and you can look in your area if there are deals, because some areas don't have as many, but I think Chicago there are quite a few actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I haven't done it in a long time, but it was fun. It was fun to come up with.
Yeah, I've never done it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it'd be something
fun.
to try
Yeah,
at
definitely.
some point.
Yeah.
Although I honestly don't know what type of beer I would go for. Too many options.
Yeah, you'd experiment. You'd try.
Yeah.
You'd try
I'd have to do a few different batches.
kinds. Yeah.
I've home brewed a few times. So the first time I ever did it was with my friend Justin, who's on the show recently, and he did. What did he do? I think he did like a pumpkin beer. Either he did a pumpkin beer or I did a pumpkin beer. I think he did, and then I did something else. His did not turn out at all, so he just threw it out. Mine was pretty suspicious looking, so I tasted it and I didn't die, but I did not drink it.
Yeah.
Did you turn orange? No.
I mean, I don't think anything happened, but it was very murky. It looked like it was just dirty water almost, and so it was just kind of
it's not good because you have to let it sit. We used to have to let it sit for at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I put it in my closet in like a 1-gallon glass carboy.
Yeah.
It was a mess. I do have a machine that's a little bit more advanced, and it can hook up to your Wi-Fi. It's called a Pico C is the unit, and basically you get a pack of pops, you get the grains, you get everything, right? And you put it in. It boils it and everything. It puts it into a keg or a mini keg, and then it ferments in there. And that one that I did, it was a little bit better. It wasn't great, but it was still okay.
Is it something you'll do again, do you think?
Yeah, I want to do it again. I was talking to Gabe one time, and he was telling me he thinks that I should do a home brewing series on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so
that'd be fun.
That'd be
yeah,
fun.
like just document the whole process of it. I'm sure that'd be
And then everybody
helpful.
participates at the same time, and then you can check back in.
Oh, like everyone else is.
Yeah,
too.
everybody's doing it at the same time.
That could work. But also just like having that up on YouTube as like a formative series.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
that's
a lot
good.
of homebrewing tutorials already, but yours would be the best. Of course.
Well, of course, because it's don't worry, be happy. We're all happy. We don't worry around here. It's
That's right.
It's our motto.
So I'm going to check in this beer, and then we're going to move on to our last one. I'm going to see how many badges I get. If you want to guess how many I get, go ahead.
From what? From just checking in this one, or you're talking whole episode?
No, just this one.
Oh. How many badges could you get from one beer?
Yeah.
One is my guess. You get one badge.
I got one badge, and it's the badge I'll be Bock.
Oh, the Bock.
The Bock badge.
Oh, the Bock badge. How many
Very
Bocks
nice.
have you had? Well, you've had 2 today.
This was my 15th.
15 bucks.
15. So that makes you the I'll be Bock man?
Level 3. I'll be Bock level 3.
I'll be Bock level 3. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be. Wow.
I have level
Do you wanna get
100 on a few badges, but...
Maybe.
Okay, I don't have it. We don't do
We
uncapped
don't
in this.
care.
Yeah. We just remember.
Yeah,
what
we
to drink.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I would never be able to remember, but
Well, you had 1,700. Was that your number?
Yeah, it's too many. Hey, what are we doing here?
so this last one, yes,
Yeah.
the Schwartz
We have a
beer.
can.
So, yeah, you do have a can. I think that one looks more
That is
Americanized.
Yes. It's nice. It's got
I like
a good
it.
look to it.
Yeah, it does look good. I like the different colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the front there.
So my
do we
guess on
wanna-
this one
Yeah.
is that it's going to be darker than all the other ones. Hopefully, it is.
We suspect.
Yes.
I'm going to
Yeah,
pour mine and see how it goes. The vital statistics on this one, 22 IBUs and 4.8% alcohol.
It was not too much.
No, that's not
Yeah.
much.
For a dark beer, you'd think maybe a little bit
Yeah,
more.
well, these are all lagers, so
Yeah,
like lager just kind
But
of.
that one had a 7.1.
Well, but it's a Doppelbock.
Oh,
let's
it's a
not
double
forget.
bock.
Right.
Whenever it's like double or doppel,
Yeah.
that just means more alcohol, right?
It-
Like is
well,
that is
this
that
means
the
more
case with all
bock.
the more Bock?
It's more bock.
I think generally it does end up that way, but I don't think that that's necessarily the only thing that it indicates.
This is Mega Head.
Mega Head.
Yeah, mine also has quite a bit.
Yes.
So.
I've been warned.
Yes.
Okay, here's a question. Pouring out of a can versus pouring out of a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect cans yield larger heads. Is that true, or am I making that up?
I think you're making that up.
Okay.
I think it
asking
doesn't
that.
necessarily matter, right? I think it depends on how you pour it, right? Because if you take your can and you just dump
I
it,
nailed this one. This was perfect.
yeah,
I mean,
that looks really good.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't think there's anything to like
There
the
may be
can
something
having
to
like a
that.
little bit more pressure and maybe giving
Yeah.
more foam because of that? I feel like
Well,
there's something there.
I don't think there's any
I'm gonna
foam inside the can or the bottle generally when you open it.
Well, with the way that you crack it open.
Yeah, you crack it open though,
where
and it just.
it
Well, but I don't think I don't think so.
rushes in.
Where's the fact checkers when you need them?
We don't have any.
I'm gonna say
Don't have
it's
any
it's
factors. We're on our
negligible,
fourth beer, so.
Yeah.
but I don't know for sure. I can't say 100%.
All right, we'll look it up later.
This one, I was expecting a lot more roasty flavors.
Yeah.
On it. I don't really
Not
smell
there.
too much.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
it smells very simple
Yeah.
to me. I think it smells almost like the Modelo, honestly.
Yes.
Color-wise,
Surprising.
I do think this is the darkest.
Oh yeah,
This is-
it's definitely the
this is
darkest.
definitely
So I mean,
Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier. I don't know that we said it on camera, but it literally translates to black beer. So if it
Yeah.
wasn't the darkest, I would be shocked. But
This is the darkest.
Yeah,
There's not much amber there.
but there is a tiny.
There's a tiny
hint.
bit,
So
a tiny hint.
even the Schwarzbier has
Yeah.
a little bit of
li-
red.
A little,
in it.
but you can't really see through it that
Well, it's like how my hair isn't black; it's brown, which you you like to call it black,
it seems black,
but it's
from a
not.
distance.
But yeah, it's shining enough light on
Yeah.
it, and you can see it's brown.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think if I turned on, like my phone camera, or not my camera, my light. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very.
red.
It's the little red bead
can
in
see the
there.
red
Yeah,
dot.
yeah, the red
Yeah.
dot. Okay, yeah, there it is.
All right, shall we?
yeah, we shall. Cheers, boys.
Cheers,
Cheers.
cheers. Clink.
Oh, yeah. Clink, there you go.
Who invited me? All right.
Yes, I did.
So that one, honestly, it is very reminiscent of.
Yeah, the
first
Modelo.
I think
Yeah.
it's. Hold on, I still have a little bit left here.
I like
I'm
this
going to
one.
do an A/B comparison.
Oh, you're doing. He's doing an A/B comparison.
What's an AB?
But he's doing one right after the other. He's comparing them both.
See, he has a lot of those jars. We've only got
Well,
one glass.
he also is just one person drinking. So
So you have four of those.
Do you have
those
4 jars?
You have
Yes.
4 jars.
Yep.
yeah,
He's got 4 jars.
we've been pouring everything into the same
Yes,
one.
we have the
He's
same
been
one.
wiping his out.
I've
after
been
each
wiping it
time.
out so it doesn't,
I just have all of them
I don't
melding
want
together.
the flavors contaminated.
Got all
See,
the contaminated
that is
flavor.
the mark of a good beer drinker. Whenever you don't want to contaminate, I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Thank you. I accept that. Thank you. I will have a drink to that.
All right.
At all the beer fests, what they normally do is they
Yeah.
have like like one of those big Gatorade tubs. You can just go in there and like rinse it out real quick. so
Yeah,
that you don't,
for sure. Yeah, I think you have to.
Well, but let's be clear here. He's not rinsing. He's
No,
wiping
I'm
with a
wiping
with a
out.
paper towel.
It's,
No,
it's
that's
still
less-
it's still getting most of it out. I think. I mean, if it's completely dry, then there's technically nothing in there,
Completely
right?
Yeah,
Please sample.
I will not.
Okay. It's completely dry.
Yeah.
No.
I like this beer.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
one's
I
really
like
good.
it. I
On my
like it, yeah.
comparison, it is a little bit
It's not as fizzy. It's
more
not as
full
carbonated.
than the Modelo. So
What did you say?
it's a
Say
little
that
bit more
again?
full. It doesn't seem
Oh,
as
yes.
light, but yeah,
I
it
agree.
definitely has
I
a
agree.
similar flavor profile.
But for a black beer, which one would think would be a lot thicker,
Yeah,
heavier,
heavy.
it's not.
It's very drinkable.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
It only
was
has like a
pleasant-
minor roasty flavor too. It's not like an in-your-face
I'm
roasty
gonna hit you
flavor.
over the head with it.
Well, yeah. So you said like fullness is a difference. I'm curious. What did you notice anything else between the two? Because I would like to do a side by side comparison. I guess they taste similar, but I'm leaning towards saying this one tastes better. But
Yes.
I don't actually really remember.
I think the Modelo one is a little bit more of your traditional, like, clean kind of beer, right?
Yeah.
It is.
And this one has a little bit more going on. It's not super roasty, but it does have a lot of flavor to it.
It's got a little in between malty and toasty and roasty.
There you go.
Malty, toasty, roasty.
All of the
Say
above.
that 10 times fast.
No.
All right.
but I will say that I like it. I like it a lot.
That.
Yeah.
I like it too. I think we're all in agreement. We like
Untapped
this.
does not really.
Favorite beer. Favorite beer.
Untapped does not agree though. Untapped says this is a 3.51.
Oh, they don't know what they're
Untapped said they said the Doppelbock was a 3.7.
They have no idea.
There's no way. I'm curious how.
I mean, I could look and see what the. Hold on, I can tell you actually. Well, I think so. Okay. It does have a slight, and this is the most bitter one of the 4, so this is 22 IBUs, but it's not too much more, but right. So the it's interesting. So the average was 3.71 on 46,610 ratings. The most highly occurring, I guess the mode of all of the ratings was a 4 at 10,611 ratings being a 4. Now when we look at serving, well, so this is the Doppelbock. Yeah. Hold on. Apparently we cannot hear you on stream. Hold on. Say something again.
Can't hear us.
All right, I think.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this thing on? Hello.
Hopefully
Our
that
box
fixes.
is-
I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, your sound bar went all the way down. So
Oh, are we on now? Can you hear us?
yeah, you're good. So when I look at the by serving style, the highest serving style was the Crowler. The second one was the Growler, and actually the lowest rating came from the Taster. So it looks like people who had a larger amount rated it higher. I think your dad's idea of the more you drink, the more you rate, right? Or the better you rate it. I think that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't
think
agree.
I would have given it a low rating regardless of the first sip. I was like,
I can say definitively, I will not drink this again. I won't. I won't.
good.
And that's a big
I won't
question that we
drink it
have
again.
here too. Like, one is what is your rating, but two is would you recommend and get it again or not?
No.
this one would definitely not recommend.
No, wouldn't recommend it.
Sorry, this might be confusing for people. If anyone's just listening to this, not watching it, we keep coming back to this Doppelbock. The Doppelbock we would not drink again.
No.
The current beer we're on,
Oh yeah.
the Schwarzbier
It's really good. It's really good.
Very good.
This I would recommend. I would drink it again.
What would you rate it though?
Oh well, then this is how we come. Daniel,
I'll go first.
first.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 4.2.
Wow.
4.2.
Wow.
That is a high rating.
I think the combination of drinkability, the slight intricacy of flavor that's beyond like your normal dark lager.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it feels like it hits a perfect balance of everything I want in this type of beer.
And refreshing too.
It's refreshing
It
too.
can be refreshing too,
Yeah.
which is what I like about the Modelo.
And it's
But
got
this could be-
a
this could be it, too.
cool can,
Cool
cool
can.
label, cool branding. I mean
cool can, cool label.
that helps.
Yeah,
So 4.2. Yeah, maybe that's a little high.
that's high. That's high.
But I'm enjoying it.
Look, it's what you like though, so it's
It
14
is
for
what
you.
you like.
That's okay.
I really like it.
I will give it a 4.15.
Okay.
This is gonna be hard. No,
Oh, I can't do that.
no. Come in.
Oh no!
4.15.
I'm gonna have to bust out the calculator
No,
on that.
don't. No.
No.
4.15, 4.2.
4.15.
Nick, what are you thinking?
I am not as impressed with that as you guys are. I'm still impressed.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 3.8.
We'll respect that.
Is that your highest ranking though of all
Of these?
It's
Or
at
what
least-
you should be
it's
writing
at
this
least
down,
tied.
for God's sakes.
Well, it's
Who's
on
keeping score here?
It's on Untapped. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. No, but you should be keeping
3.6.
score.
What did you give
What did you give it?
What'd you give the Liney's?
A 3.6.
You might have given Oh.
So it is the highest.
Probably your highest score.
I gave a 3.2, 3.4, 3.6, and now a 3.8. So that was my total.
Yeah,
but it was a different order though. It was 3.4, 3.2, 3.6,
Right.
3.8.
Right. And so our consensus rating, because I gave it a 4.2,
I gave it a 4.15.
and you gave it a 4.15.
Yeah.
So
I cannot do the math.
you can do it. Come
No.
on. You have to do an attempt, and then I'll tell you what it actually is. No, don't. No phone. 4.15 and 4.2. What's halfway between?
So is it a 4.175?
There you go.
All right.
I did it without a calculator.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna see if this will fit on the score sheet. We've never had
I don't know if there's that many decimals.
We've never had a triple decimal.
Rounded up to a 4.1.
No. We got to set a record on Don't
all right.
Worry, Beer Happy for most decimals.
All right.
So it is able to be seen sort of, but there's a 4.175 there. You can see the 5 only partially. I'm not gonna fix it because then I'd have to change the size of it, and I don't want to do that. So.
Too much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I mean,
There it is.
at least all decent beers. Some of them were better than others. Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying
and
as a whole, like they're at least decent, right? I think even the Doppelbock is like okay, it's fine. You know, I'm not going to rate it a 1, right?
Fine. Yeah.
Well, fine to me. Anything over a 3 is fine. That's my scale. Some of the other ones are really good. I'm going to change this to our 2-host screen here. But I think, I mean, it's consensus that the Schwarzbier is the best.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend it, but
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know of any other ones. I'd have to actually go and look because I'm not big into Schwarzbiers, so I don't know what's out there. But this is the best-selling one.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I didn't even know the style existed. I mean, obviously, it's like I guess it's within the bigger genre of dark lagers, if that's the case. But I mean, I'm after this, I now want to go out and try more.
Yeah, for sure.
Schwarzbiers.
I would too.
So the Schwarzbier, let me check my beer judge guidelines real quick. So it's in category 8. So it's in dark European lager with the Munich Dunkel. So those are the 2 that are in the dark European lager.
So you will find it if you ask for a Dunkel too. That's how people classify.
So
people call them Dunkels.
It could be a type of Dunkel.
Yeah, it could be a type of Dunkel. Yeah, like that. What was it? The Hacker.
Well, because Dunkel just means dark.
Yeah, dark.
Ah, okay.
Dunkel lager.
Oh yeah. Oh, the one you had at Yard House.
Yeah. It was like Packer Shore or something like that.
What is that? What is that brewery? Hacker?
Is it Hacker Shore?
It's like it's something with an H, something with a P.
Yeah, it's a PSCH.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. I'd have to look it up.
You looked up that.
Okay. So, but that has a Dunkel, which is pretty good. Pretty good Dunkel.
Do you remember how that would have compared to this, or just
don't-
your immediate reactions?
I think good. I think closer to the Köstritzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because basically, like the sort of the inspiration for this episode, or a lot of the inspiration was because he had this Dunkel
I
that
had
he really
this
liked.
Dunkel. I liked it.
And
I wasn't familiar with dark lagers. I didn't know.
Well, you're familiar with Modelo.
I mean, I'm not either, honestly. They're not so common, I don't think. I don't know that I've ever really seen one.
They're nice. Yeah.
That's like just on tap somewhere generally, like unless it's a beer place. I mean, if it's just a normal like Red Robin or something, right?
Yeah, you're not gonna find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
I think more breweries and stuff should try this.
But if you're in Munich, you're gonna find a bunch of Dunkels, I think. Because I think that is a specific type, right?
Yeah,
a Munich Dunkel.
Munich is how they classify it.
As opposed to like
Munich Dunkel is a subcategory of the dark European lager, and then the Schwarzbier is also a subcategory of the dark European lager.
Yeah.
And is Modelo technically in that category?
It's a Munich Dunkel.
It is a Munich Dunkel?
It's a Munich Dunkel.
So this one is,
Yeah. But I would say it'd be on the lighter side of Munich Dunkel.
Yeah. They can probably get pretty heavy.
They could probably get heavy.
Yes.
Now, there is one more thing that I need to do before the show ends. And I told you what this was going to be, Daniel. So today is going to be the unveiling of of a new decoration that we're going to have in the background from here on out. I'll figure out where to put it. It might change places every now and again, but we recently got this, and I really, really like it. This is from Daniel's original design, and I think it looks really good. But you let me know. So we have an actual Don't Worry, Beer Happy display. So I think it looks great.
It looks good.
Yeah, we got to give another shout out to our whoever the guy was that created this beer background that we use throughout the show.
That's true.
Which this guy generously, like this animation that you see.
Yeah.
Put it up on YouTube. Said anyone is free to use it. So
Nice.
Through that, obviously we created a lot of the branding for the show, and I took that into that graphic too.
Did you give him the graphic?
Yeah, I put that together.
It should be larger, don't you think?
What, the logo?
Yeah. No, the whole thing. I mean, how's he supposed to display that?
Well,
it's just going to be in the background, yeah. But I was just showing it up close to the camera. It is smaller, for example. Like you can see.
Well, that's a different thing.
You can see, like, I have.
Is that like the Madrigal or?
There you go, the Madrigal.
Madrigal.
So that is the Mandalorian, and that is Baby Yoda / Grogu, as they say. But yeah, so I just wanted to show that off and just let people know that we are going to have it in the background.
Nice. It's nice.
Thank you.
I do appreciate all of the work that Dan has done on the show. I mean, he's designed a lot of the stuff. Made it very easy for me to continue to change things, especially like, the beer bars. I do all the week-to-week photoshopping, but he's made it possible for a lot of those to actually
What are the beer bars?
Those were the graphics you were seeing for like showing the different IBU. And,
okay, got it.
You might not have been paying close attention.
No,
but that's okay. I've been happy to help, and I'm glad you've been able to take what I've put together and just run with it without, me needing to edit it each week.
Right. I mean, I would feel bad if I had to ask you to do it all the time, because I mean, like, there are 4 in some weeks, and it's just like, man, he has his own stuff to do. He's probably like, get out of my ear. I don't want to do your photoshopping.
Yeah, the 4 weeks. This is only the second 4 week, right? Was it you and Dennis that did a 4?
Yeah, Dennis and I did a 4. Yeah.
So one of the commentators on here said, "You are so awkward," and she was referring to me, I think.
Yeah.
That was very nice, was it?
Well, for the record, this isn't in chat. This is in our family, our family chat.
Oh.
He's confused with the Twitch chat, which he doesn't have up on his phone.
I don't.
He's just looking at his messages.
That's
which is just our family group chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm awkward. I thought
I thought it all flowed very smoothly.
It was very good.
I thought it was good. I mean, it felt like a very chill chat to me. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed trying all the lagers too. I mean, I generally don't go for lagers, so.
I think we picked some good lagers, good samples of the genre.
I think so too. And I'm glad that the one beer that I had to get additionally that had multiple in the pack was the Schwarzbier.
Oh, so we have more.
That's the good news. We got a 4-pack of the Schwarzbier.
This one. Yeah.
I had to get a 12-pack of the Modelo and the Leinenkugel. So.
That's good. You liked those enough.
Yeah. At least it's not the Doppelbock. That would not.
Yeah, the 12-pack of the Doppelbock
oh my
would
God.
be awful.
Wow.
I would try to sell those off.
If anybody would buy them.
Well, you wouldn't tell them what it tasted like.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
And you found that at Benny's, right?
This was
that would be, I think, a hard one to find. You wouldn't find that at.
Yeah, well, and Benny's
store.
has a lot of like just single bottles that you can buy of things without,
Are you familiar with Benny's?
I'm not.
It's like a beer. It's a spirits and wine and beer superstore. It's like
alcohol.
You could find anything. You could find any kind of beer brand there.
Yeah, but you have Total Wine.
Yeah, I've been going to Total Wine. The other store that I go to sometimes in Nashville is Frugal McDougal. They're another one that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good name for a store.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benny's is it just Chicagoland?
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's throughout Chicagoland.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of the,
But I
the
mean, you
go-to
could-
spot if you need anything very specific and you wonder if the place has it. Benny's probably the place.
Yeah, you could probably. I mean, their slogan is if Benny's doesn't have it, it's probably not worth drinking. So, but you can find just I think really any beer that I mean, if it's certainly they're not going to find you a home brew beer, but any beer from any country you could find there. I'm pretty sure.
not any beer. Like we looked
Pretty
up some.
sure.
No, when we were putting together the list for this episode, like they don't
Old
have.
Peculiar is there. They have Old Peculiar.
I don't know that one.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
It's an English beer. Yeah. They've got some really far out beers, and certainly any of the beers. I mean, you could get El Presidente there from the Dominican.
Sure,
you could get that.
Yeah.
I will again, reiterate hashtag not an ad, but could be.
Yeah,
so maybe that'll be one of our slogans here. Not an ad, but
not
could be.
Ad, but you can find some pretty esoteric beers.
I will say, actually, when I just went to Benny's, there's this one dark lager that I love.
Oh yeah,
and it's from Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee, and I believe it's called their East Side Dark Lager.
Did they have it there?
I asked them. First of all, I didn't even see anything by Lakefront, but I saw some on their website. So I asked the guy there. They apparently don't get any Lakefront beers anymore. Like they don't get any shipments from them.
Oh.
So they didn't have this one specific dark lager that I love and would have been a great addition to the show. I mean, BN, you probably couldn't get it in Nashville either.
No, you couldn't get it.
But yeah, I was getting it when I was living in Madison. It was just like in their normal stores.
But they probably have the New Glarus, and they probably
I don't think because New Glarus they don't distribute outside of Wisconsin.
Right.
That's like their thing.
If it doesn't distribute, then they're not gonna.
But Lakefront,
get it.
Lakefront has been in Benny's before, but they're just not currently.
I bet they have Great Lakes though. Great Lakes, which is the Elliott Ness. That one. Yeah,
it's kind of mainstream.
It is kind of mainstream. Yeah.
Anyway,
we're talking beers in the Midwest.
We like Benny's, but I'm gonna push back a bit on
push
the fact that they have everything.
But
my favorite dark lager.
But if it's not distributed, then how are they going to get it? I mean,
it used to be distributed. I mean, I don't know what their deal is. I want them to make it happen for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There
we go.
So there is one more thing we need to do to end the show.
What do we do?
Now, if you've been here before, then you know what we say. If you haven't, I'll go ahead and explain. I say don't worry. You guys say beer happy. So, are you ready to close out the show?
Yeah, we'll take a word. How about it?
Be happy?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Was that too much?
Let me write this down.
But except it's beer happy, though. So you got to make sure you say beer.
Beer happy.
Yeah. I got it wrong.
You did.
So I'm glad we rehearsed that.
Yeah,
all right. Okay.
It won't be edited out, though, so everyone's going to know we rehearsed. So you better get it right, because they're going to know you rehearsed. So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
As always, thank you, everybody, for watching. If you liked it, make sure you follow. I really appreciated having you guys on. I thought it was a great show. Had a lot of good beers that I've never had before. And any unique beer to me is a good beer, so I do appreciate that. And as always, don't worry.
Beer
happy.
Don't worry, beer happy. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for having us, BN.
Thank you.